The plumber they've got the foundations in all the way around here. The underground is all done. When I say the underground is done, I mean with regards to the general contractor, they've got that all done. So what we got storm lines going in, and we got sanitary lines going in, and we got some electrical equipment line, or electrical conduit going in. So that's what's going on in Area A. They are getting set up, this building right here, this prefab building, they're getting set up for that. The steel's in place. They're gonna start setting steel probably tomorrow. The crane will be here tomorrow anyhow. So that's the direction we're headed in here.
Larry, before you, and maybe you were going to cover this later on, do you want to talk a little bit about the water issue in that area, since you're on that area?
So over in this area right here, we have a lot of water coming out of the foundations. I don't know, I think I sent some pictures out. I don't know if you guys see them. But anyhow, there's a lot of water coming out of the foundation here. And this is a low point right here. The stream it comes pretty close along this side here. You may have seen previous pictures. So where the water is draining out in this area right here, it will be, it's about 13 and a half inches below the stream, where the elevation of the stream is. So you've got an issue there. So we gotta put, a sump pump in here with some internal French drains to take this water out of here and then discharge it. They're gonna discharge it outside. So they gotta get rid of that somehow, because there's a lot of water flowing down through there. They had four sumps in there to contain the water while they were putting the foundations and stuff in, so they could pour foundations. You're gonna see there is some overdig and stuff in there where they had over excavation and stuff like that to get the solid soil, to get load compaction and stuff like that. This right here is along your wetland, and this is the retention ponds like down in here. So this was a struggle for the contractor to get that in. I'm just letting you know. And they got it in, and it's done.
Yes, but to be clear, there's no wetlands on us. The stormwater pond you talk about is Special Tower stormwater pond.
Yeah.
Our stormwater is out of the parking lot.
Yes, you have your stormwater. For this part of the building, we have a stormwater retention over here. That covers this side of the building. It goes right here. This side of the building all comes out, and it'll go through your old playground. And there's a storm. I gotta look, see where we're at here. You can't see it on this one, but there used to be a playground in here, right? Over here, I think there's a 12-inch line that they're gonna tie this into. And it'll go out towards the Washington Street, out underneath Washington Street.
I just want to be clear that we don't have wetlands or that stormwater pond on us.
No, it should not.
And none of that's in the flood zone, because at one time, there's a lot of area over towards Eisenhower that were flood zone houses, I know. Is any of that in the flood zone?
I can't speak to that. I don't know.
Hi, Jared, how can we check to see if any of that are properties in the flood zone? There should be the flood maps.
Yeah, we can.
It's not on the FEMA maps. It's not in the 100-year flood.
Okay. Area B. This is Area B right here. These are classrooms and stuff. So they're pulling wire. They've got conduit in there. They're pulling wire through the conduit. They've started to drywall in these rooms here. They're working their way down this way. And that's about all that's going on there. They're pulling wire and drywall's being started. So that's a good thing. They've also, the rough end electrical's been inspected by the borough in this area here, in some of these rooms over here. So they're moving forward. They have to inspect the electrical before they put the drywall up. So that has been done. This is one of your additions here. This is all, the floor's been poured. There's a set of stairs. Today, they just brought the stairs, and there's a set of stairs that goes up to the roof here. They were working on that today. The plumber has been in here putting in water lines and tying in roof drains and associated piping with that. So that's what's going on in this area. Let's see. Covers that demo. Oh, there's some various walls in here, some demo that there was infills going in, and they were moving, like there's doors here and windows, and they were opening it up and moving stuff and getting everything lined up so they had to move doors and windows, and they're putting block infills back in, so they can move forward with finishing that area. That's here in your addition area. Let's see what else. Area C, they've been hanging ductwork in here, and they've been, in this area right here, the floor is very uneven from an old bathroom, so they've been working on that, getting that leveled. Out here, we have a transformer vault, and they put that in last week, and then they ran the main feed from the transformer into the building. So that's been run. The underground conduit for that has been run, and it's backfilled, and it was inspected, so it's all good to go. They got pull wire through it, but the transformer vault's been set, conduit's in place, so all they have to do is start to pull wire and stuff through there. Area D. So Area D, they're putting in conduit, they're running conduit all, Area D is from here down. And this is a D South and D West edition. So they've been pulling conduit in here. The sprinkler fitter was here yesterday and today. Or I'm sorry, Friday and today. And he was staying ahead of the drywall. He had to get some pipe in here and move some stuff around for the drywall guys. And he had to finish some stuff up here so he could stay ahead of the drywall, because they're going to be bringing drywall in here probably end of the week at the earliest for this area CD. So that's coming. So he was in this area fine tuning some things. He had some things he had to touch up, which we got that taken care of today.
So that would have been the area where the old trailers were.
The area where the old trailers were,
Oh, that's
was right here.
Okay.
Okay, and this
The library is.
Okay.
in this area right here, this is where that prefab building's gonna be. So they're gonna build that prefab, they're gonna start that this week. And then there's steel structure coming off of that.
When he says prefab, he's talking about a structural.
Yeah, not yeah.
I'm just making sure that we're not moving a shed in.
Right. So anyhow, we got conduit going in here, and they're, like I said, they're working on floors, they're putting conduit in, running conduit, they're running, they got ductwork and VAVs are being put in here. Same here, they're running conduit and ductwork out here. And then this area is getting metal framing in all around this new area. The block layers are putting infills in this area too, where they had to move doors around and stuff like that. Also, this area here, they've started to roof. So the roofing has been started in D West, and they've got material staged up here. They're taking the soffit and fascia off along here, and they're working their way around. But they're getting ready to start this roof. They were up there staging material. They started this roof right here Friday, I mean, and they're starting here. They'll probably go over to here, and then they're going to start working their way this way towards the new addition north. So let's see. As far as the schedule goes, I asked Wednesday, I said, how are we looking for the schedule? All the contractors were, confidence level is high, but there is one exception with the switch gear, which goes in your mechanical room. That was ordered as soon as the contract was let, maybe a little bit before, and that just takes time. That is, since COVID, that's been a real challenge to get the switch gear. So they're expecting that in January. As far as the look ahead, the plumber's going to continue with the underground storm and sanitary piping. Sheet metal is going to finish area D. He's going to finish up here, and he's going to move over to C. The electrical is going to continue underground in area A, because he's running conduit out here and getting stuff set up so they can get ready to pour the floor. Let's see. Overhead branch lines, area D and C. And they're going to continue pulling wire in this area, area B. General contractors working on window frames. Most of the window frames have been installed on this area here and this area here. Oops. And so my understanding is glass will be coming probably first part of June, so they can start putting that in too. And there's panels also in the frames that are installed. The glass is more in the center. Oh, let's see. Window frames are being installed. Installation of prefabricated.
Has the electrician been cooperative in getting the scheduling and working with you?
As cooperative as they can be. Yeah, they're a bit, they're on schedule, they're keeping up, but they're a little stubborn. But, I push them into a corner and make them give me an answer. So, but, yeah, thanks for asking. They're gonna, so there's over here, let me see where I'm, so in this area right here, there's a generator that's gonna be set here.
No.
In this area, there's a boiler room, a mechanical room. You have an exhaust and an intake, louvers here. The original drawing shows a generator up against this wall, or up against this window here. Well, code won't allow that. It's gonna be moved out about, I think code was, minimum was 9 feet. They're gonna move it out 10 feet away from the building. So one of the issues that's gonna be coming at you is there used to be a coal bin there, and there was like a ramp that went up so they could dump coal, and I think they blacktopped it. Well, I know it's blacktop. So Buchard Horn, Anthony Shinsky's working on a solution for that. To make, I envisioned that this was all gonna be at one elevation and be done. But with that bin and stuff there, it's solid concrete, and it's gonna take some work to demo that. And it has been filled in, but it still needs some more guidance from Anthony on that. That's about it. Does anybody have any questions for me that
I have a question.
Quickly,
I would imagine, it looks to me like you're over 50% through this project. Do you think it's there? Do you think it's a little less or?
I don't think we're 50%.
Okay, what
Um,
percentage do you put us at?
Well, I'd probably put us 40, I would say 40.
Okay, thank you.
Once they get this underground, once they get this steel set and we get a roof on everything, the speed's gonna pick up even more, because those guys struggled in this area here. Area A was a struggle because of because of weather and water. And weather be rain, and they really struggled, so we got a lot of rain.
they can certainly pick up speed, but there's a lot to do.
There is a lot to do,
So,
yeah.
Have we heard back from the plumber as far as the service, the 4-inch?
The meter?
versus- Yeah.
So let's see how'd that go. The plumber said the 4-inch was good. They sent the calculations to Buchard Horn. They sent it to CJL. CJL kicked it back. They wanted some more calculations.
Right.
As far as hearing back from them, I have not heard anything back to see if that's gonna work. The original calculations information I got back from the plumber and whoever their engineer that figured that out said it was gonna be minimal cost. It really wasn't gonna be much for the size of the piping. They have to change some piping size. And it was gonna be minimal. They weren't even worried about it. So it was minimal change in the piping.
We're still waiting to hear back from the plumber hires an engineer consultant
For the fire
because they're
protection.
questioning the fire protection if we go to this 4-inch. Everybody else is saying 4-inch is okay. Well, now the plumber's having to send that off and get calculations.
CJL
done again.
questioned that.
yeah. However,
Yeah.
the 6-inch meter is a higher expense every month in this
Right.
district than a 4-inch meter.
Right.
So,
So we're pushing for the 4-inch.
And the 6-inch meter is not as accurate as reading your gallons that you're using. So that's why we're trying to stick, it's cheaper cost-wise, it's cheaper monthly-wise, and also is more accurate for reading the amount of water you're using. So in the long run, I think it'll save you some money. So, that's all I have. Any more questions? I didn't mean to interrupt. Anybody got any questions or anything?
yeah, I'd like to short circuit the change orders, that's part B. These are within, except for the 18,000, which we talked about last meeting. The 4, 5, 6 are within the ability of Jared and Larry to approve. Have some discussion, I'd like to have an executive session about those. So unless there's any questions on those, I think we can jump ahead. Appraisal Horace Mans number 2,
The gymnasium floor.
gymnasium floor.
Yeah.
I'll short circuit that conversation. Or we're only giving $25,000 back for cutting him out of the gymnasium floor. It's $150,000, $200,000 value. It's not worth it. So I think we take a pass on the IUP floor. Okay? Jared, is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll have to go to number 2.
Can I ask a question about the gym floor?
Yes, sir.
I spent 25 years in gyms. What is the gym floor you're trying to get rid of or put in,
We were looking at the IUP, KCAC is getting rid of their
and you're
floor.
passing on that?
And we're passing on that, and we're going in with the new floor.
Okay, thank you.
Number 2?
I worked with Attorney Repack, just because we have been getting some appraisals of some commercial buildings. We got this quote from Valbridge, who's doing some of the commercial appraisals as part of the assessment appeals the district is looking at. They came back with $3,800 to do an appraisal of Horace Mann for us. And it's on the agenda tonight for approval. We were asked to get proposals.
I'm intending to ask the board to table that motion. I think it's premature. If the borough redoes their zoning code, we'll have some options. But when the way the zoning code currently is, the value as something other than a school is not very much. And anybody who buys the building is going to have to get their own appraisal.
Yeah,
Especially if it's more than a year from now. So
yes.
I don't see the value of spending $3,800 for us to have a made-up number. Unless the board feels differently.
You have to get an appraisal from the bank if somebody's.
That would be the bias.
So, yeah, but the bank will make the arrangements.
Mhm.
They won't even take this.
Customer pay.
Yeah, ours would not, unless the other bank would agree to use it. Would not be good.
It was appraised, what, about 7 years ago, 6 years ago?
But that was done by a local realtor. It wasn't a full commercial appraisal. This would be a full commercial appraisal, which I would use for a tax appeal. But I don't see the value in it at this point in our operations.
Tom, the only thing that would be I think of interest in possibly knowing more about it now is, as we discussed, Amerikeys indicated some interest in leasing with the idea of purchasing. And if I'm not mistaken, and I would defer to Ron Repack, I think before we could even talk to them about it, we have to have an appraisal.
I don't think that's correct, but we can check that out. I don't think it's necessary. If we get educational value from Ameripac, do we have to sell it at all? Can we give it to them for $1 and they educate our kids for free? Those are the kind of deals that we can put on the table. Okay, but the appraisal rate today, I don't think is worth doing.
Okay, but there is possibly that technical issue with the, to even talk about dollars and enter into serious negotiations. I think we have to have that, but when Ron gets here, we can talk to him about that.
What was it appraised at 5 or 6 years ago?
I think it was appraised at around $500,000 as a school building and 300-some thousand as just a regular.
You know, it's like
Usually
280 or
starting
something like
point.
that.
Yeah.
But again, that was not a full commercial appraisal.
Right.
It was a $200 drive-by appraisal.
Well,
No, it was
$10,000 for that
it was-
appraisal.
Yeah, it was over $2,000.
10,000.
Okay.
Back then,
I
it
take
was,
that back.
we paid that and we had Eisenhower done at the same time. It was a full appraisal.
And to that point, wouldn't they want to pay for the appraisal if they're interested in buying it? I think that would fall on them and not us.
Yeah, and we also could agree to accept this guy to do the appraisal, both parties could,
Mhm.
to determine the value.
Well, I think we'll see what Ron says if it's needed to negotiate it at any point down the road, so. I think I'll go, I'm fine with not doing it, but if Ron says we need it to some sort of an agreement
Yeah.
potentially, I think
Yeah,
we need to
if
get it
Ron,
done.
Ron says we need to move forward through the act or whatever else we're doing. But under normal conditions, it's not of much value at this point. Can we move on? We have the update from summer work list, and we're running out of time.
We have the ESCO lighting.
Oh, ESCO lighting, do you have anything on that?
We have the initial proposal. I didn't ask them to come tonight, knowing that we were in a time crunch. They will be here at the June 17th meeting. If any board member would like to take a copy, I have enough copies for every board member.
Is there executive summary on that?
I believe there's part of it is an executive summary,
Yeah,
yes.
maybe you could copy that and push it out to the board.
Yep, there's a copy, there's binders for any board member who would like to take a copy as well, so, for some light reading.
I definitely won't.
Okay, summer work, can we do that quickly? Okay. You got 5 minutes to do summer work.
There's an attachment, the last page of the buildings and grounds attachment has what is attached to the agenda about summer work.
Okay. I'm sure you've all seen this. Are there any questions about what they're intending to do this summer? We can short circuit this.
It's the general list that they all put together and he, whatever was in paid.
On number 11, pressure washing for your high facade, what does that entail?
Trying to clean up the aesthetics, the look of the building.
Is it the whole thing or just around the front door?
Well, around the whole side, but basically the not the brick, but the other portion.
So like 10 or 12 feet up and you're cleaning up the stuff.
Trying to attempt to make that a little more attractive. We did that last time, was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Any other questions on this list? Any objections to it? Any ads? Mow the grass.
Well, this is just like
I know.
not the ordinary routine.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
just want to make that clear to everybody that we will still be scrubbing carpets, we'll still be
up and
buffing
floors.
floors and mowing grass and all that good stuff. But this is like the additional work that we have planned.
Okay. Any objection to moving on? This doesn't need a motion, Jared?
No.
Solar opportunities? You want to delay that for the next meeting? Or do we need to make that application?
We have no, I just have it as a placeholder on the agenda. I know we've been
Okay,
talking to
we'll
the
come
one
back to that.
solar company.
Number 6 and 7, we can't get done this summer. Jared went out to talk to professionals and no one responded. So we're gonna have to figure out how to do that if we're going to do these 2 projects. And get better planning on them this fall, get them done and get them ready to go for next summer.
So you're talking about 6 and 7?
Yes, 6 is the only one I thought we might be able to get done, but at this point, it's not possible. It's just not,
Sarah's not
it's
happy.
not possible to
No,
get
it's okay. I'm hanging in there with all of you.
I sent proposals out to 6 or 7 architects just to get and send it to AIA of Pittsburgh to push out to their people, and I got maybe 3 responses that were just not interested at this time, too busy, stuff like that, so.
So we're trying to get a little bit ahead of this. This is why we need to do these things in September, engage the professionals in October when they're looking for work and get ready to bid it in March and construction in May. Do you want to skip these next 2 things or you want to keep going? 8 and 9, we're running out of
We
time.
have 20 minutes.
The maintenance, Rob and I've updated the matrix. Rob and I have just not had the opportunity to get together and score it ourselves. And I didn't think tonight that we had enough time for us really to go down through and evaluate each of those. So we will have that on the agenda for
For a longer meeting.
our longer meeting, yes,
Okay.
probably in June.
Auxiliary building, want to drop back to that? Or?
We're talking with ICTC on how we can make that a possible project for their carpentry department to come down and be a part of that project. So we're having those conversations.
The building is almost 2,000 feet, and it does have water and electricity to it. It could be heated. It could be used for storage at a minimum, which we always seem to need, but it needs to be dry storage without a hole in the roof. So, and if we had any academic use for it, I'm interested to see what that might be. But I certainly don't want to tear it down on this summer.
No, we're talking both to, also to their HVAC department too, because if we're gonna put heat or whatever it needs in there, they could be part of that project as well, so.
So, anything else we need to do on this?
I just wanted, just real quick, someone told me that the scoreboard on the soccer field is not working. Is that accurate or there is?
I've been there since the fall, that's the lacrosse team, I guess.
Maybe that's what it was during the
You
lacrosse
mean
game.
main football field?
No, not the main football field. Someone said the,
Oh, the one, the grass field?
yeah.
Oh, I have not.
Okay, I just heard that and I'm like, I'll have to check on it.
Okay,
Okay,
Cheney will check on it.
yeah, okay. Maybe it was something else. I thought they said soccer
No,
field.
he just said it hasn't worked for a long time.
Oh, it hasn't worked for a long time.
Is that
I
what you
don't think it's worked. I remember on our Labor Day tournament, they hold.
Maybe that's what they were talking about then, okay. I just thought that something just happened to it. No, but maybe it's, okay.
Okay, I think we can close this meeting off. Julia, I just wanted to point out that the bug on the ground didn't.
Baby, can you read me this one first? Still, I've got 12